All right, let's get right into it. If you're running an elite aesthetic practice, you already know that top-tier clinical skills are just the price of entry. The real game changer, the thing that sets you apart, is creating a patient experience so powerful, so immersive, that it actually feels like you're suspending time. Today, we're opening up the playbook on how the very best in the business are doing just that. And this quote right here, from consultant Dr. Ari Masudi, this is the core philosophy. This is our North Star. The goal isn't just to have a patient leave happy with their results. The real goal is to make the experience so all-consuming that the outside world, with all its deadlines and phone notifications, just fades away entirely. So here's how we're going to break it down. We'll start with that core philosophy. Then we'll walk through 4 key plays. First, how to erase the outside world. Second, building an engagement loop that never drops the ball. Third, creating an immersive bubble for your patient. And finally, the frictionless finish. Let's jump in. Okay, play number 1, the core philosophy. Before we get into the tactics, we have to be crystal clear on what we're actually trying to achieve. What is the ultimate goal here? It all boils down to this one idea. You want to induce a state where your patient literally loses track of time. You know you've nailed it when they walk out the door, look at their watch, and say, wow, that went by so fast. That feeling, that's your metric for success. That's the win. So, how do we actually get them to that point? Well, our first move has to be aggressive. It's about systematically and deliberately getting rid of every single thing that reminds them of the world they just left behind. It's funny. The biggest enemies of this immersive state are the things we barely even notice. Clocks on the wall, windows with a view of the street, even natural light changing as the day goes on. All of these things are anchors to reality. They remind your patient about their parking meter, about the emails piling up, about the time ticking away. The solution? You have to create a totally timeless, controlled environment. And look, these aren't just gentle suggestions, they're commands. Get rid of the clocks. Seriously, all of them. Design your spaces so there are no windows in the patient's direct line of sight. And this next one is huge. Your team has to stop talking about time. No more. It'll be about a 20-minute wait, or this will take 45 minutes. Instead, you frame progress internally. You say things like, okay, we're about halfway through our plan for you today. You control the clock. You control the narrative. So once you've stripped away all those outside world distractions, you've created a vacuum. Now you have to fill it. If you don't, your patient's mind is just going to wander right back to their to-do list. And that's where the engagement loop comes in. Let's be honest, waiting is the absolute enemy of immersion. It's just dead time for the brain to fill. So instead of a waiting room with old magazines, think about interactive tools. I know one top clinic that hands patients an iPad with this really cool app that lets them design and visualize their dream results. Patient satisfaction went through the roof. And here's the kicker. Their actual wait time didn't change one bit. Why? Because the experience just flowed from one interesting activity right into the next. No gaps, no downtime. Now, if you want to take this to another level, you can layer in a really powerful psychological tool called a variable reward system. See, predictable rewards are nice, but unpredictable ones are totally captivating. A small, unexpected gesture, maybe a complimentary sample of a new product, or adding a quick little extra treatment because their skin is just responding so well today, that moment of surprise and delight keeps their attention locked in. Okay, so the patient is engaged, they're not thinking about the outside world. Now the next move is to help them turn their focus inward. We want them to create their own little personal sanctuary, right there in the treatment chair. And this play is really all about your environment's design. The goal is to make the patient feel so incredibly comfortable and private that they naturally just check out. Think comfortable reclining chairs, strategic privacy screens that block out the rest of the room. These things physically encourage a closed, relaxed posture. You're basically giving them both physical and psychological permission to just retreat into their own world for a little while. All right, this brings us to our final and maybe the most important play of them all. You've just spent the entire visit building this incredible, timeless, magical experience. The absolute worst thing you can do is ruin it all at the very end with a clunky, awkward checkout process. I mean, just think about it. The second a patient has to pull out a wallet, swipe a card, or sign a receipt, they are instantly yanked back into the real world. A world of money, of budgets, of, well, reality. That beautiful, immersive bubble you worked so hard to create? Pop. It's a jarring end to an otherwise seamless experience. And the data on this is just undeniable. Take this clinic in Dallas. Before they switched to a frictionless payment system, their average checkout took 12 minutes. 12 minutes of logistical hassle. But after they brought in a digital bedside payment option, that dropped to just 4 minutes. That's 8 minutes. 8 whole minutes of that reality check, that friction, completely eliminated from every single patient's visit. That is a massive improvement, and it preserves that magical feeling right up until the moment they walk out the door. So, how do you actually do it? Well, there are a few great ways. You can securely store payment methods on file. You can use mobile or bedside checkout right there in the treatment chair. Membership models with automatic billing are fantastic for this too. The point is to make the payment process invisible. The transaction still happens, of course, but the act of transacting is completely removed from the patient's experience. So we'll leave you with this question to think about. There's no doubt your clinical skills are elite, that's a given. But this playbook shows that the next frontier, the thing that creates true, unshakable patient loyalty, is mastering the experience itself. So, are you actively designing an environment that makes time and the entire outside world simply disappear?